yeah, it's going to be pretty good at that point if it's gate kept until the very end of the progression track, but it truly is a lot of fun to play around with this weapon. I loved it the entire time that I did. I actually stayed about. Firstly, when it comes to the weapons you'll end up encountering, the C9 is the first one there because it's the default SMG. This one, while there are probably better options, I'd say, throughout the leveling track, it is, especially as a starter weapon, pretty dang good. It's a lot of fun, it can pack a punch, and you can kit it out to be quite mobile. So if you're a movement demon, you can end up getting something nice out of this. We don't really do that here for this, so the build that you're going to see doesn't necessarily reflect a movement demon build, but anyways, the C9 is definitely one that's a lot of fun and has treated me pretty nicely. For this, I end up running the compensator, the reinforced barrel, Ranger foregrip, flip mag, and the commando grip. Now, if I really feel like it, I will swap out the compensator for the no stock. It packs the most punch out of the SMG. So it reminds me of the Milano from Black Ops Cold War, and I actually think within Warzone it's going to act very similarly to that and how we saw within Black Ops Cold War's Year of Support in Warzone and Verdansk. And having played Area 99 already at COD Next, pending no like evisceration of this weapon and weapon balancing, it was by and far the best SMG to have out of that like hour and a half of playtime that I ended up getting. So highly would recommend ranking this one up and maybe getting some camos if you care about that, but also just trying it out in MP. For this, I'd recommend the reinforced barrel, Ranger foregrip, extended mag 1, commando grip, and the balanced stock. Again, you're probably seeing this trend here, and for good reason. It all fits how I like to play the game. If you'd like to change something else for yourself, feel free to. The DM10 is the 9th weapon I'll talk about here today, and this one, it is an interesting one that it's very good as a marksman rifle, but it's one of those ones that, like, I'm putting this here because it's great in its own category, but I still think it's outclassed in most engagements just because of the recoil, rate of fire, magazine capacity, and everything. Like, I'd prefer on a regular day to take an XM4, but it's going to be something that grinding weapon camos, DM10 is great, and I think in Warzone it's going to be something that could be potentially pretty powerful as well, keeping a marksman rifle sort of meta alive, whereas previously we've seen battle rifles. This kind of reminds me of like the KV inhibitor from earlier this year within Warzone, where you had that 2-shot potential in Warzone. For this, I had been running Gunfighter, so I have 8 attachments of the Prismatech 4x compensator, reinforced barrel, weighted handguard, fast mag 1, commando grip, light stock, and rapid fire. But if you want to use a different wild card, the 5 attachments I would probably say are rapid fire, the compensator, Prismatech 4x, weighted handguard, and maybe that reinforced barrel. But again, it gets kind of preference based at that point on what you're trying to end up using it for. And the final weapon we'll talk about is the PU-21, an LMG that I think has potential, but I don't quite know where it sits in the grand scheme of things just yet. Like, this is my number 10 of 10 for sure, because like I said earlier in the video, we're still very early on in this year where this could be wrong. Maybe I'm just enjoying it because I had fun with it, but for this, I'd recommend the reinforced barrel, the fast mag, the commando grip, balanced stock, and the recoil springs. So let me know your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of this list? Anything that you would add to it? Whatever the case, let me know. But I want to share with you guys the weapons that I've been rocking here in day 1 and day 2 so that hopefully they can give you some benefit here in your gameplay experience as well. For now, that is going to wrap it up. Let me know your thoughts down below. As well, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like on it. Of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Black Ops 6 as we chase down 600,000 subscribers. For now, though, I'm going to get back to grinding out some COD. Maybe I'll see you guys out there, but thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care, and peace.
Getting 8 ads every 20 minutes is actually diabolical. Meet Pi, the ad blocker that actually works on Twitch.
Man, it's been a crazy 2 weeks, I'll tell you that. We missed you? Yeah, it's been honestly, I'm gonna be real, it's been great. Like, there's been a bunch of people who reached out to me, they're like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah. I've been fine. Like, I've been so good. I've been relaxed, man. Like, I've been sitting around playing video games, fucking around. I cleaned up pretty much half of my whole fucking house. The only reason I couldn't do the other half is there's so much fucking garbage in the house. I don't know where to put everything. So I posted a couple of pictures in my on my Twitter. Let me see if I can find some of it right here. So I posted, this was my kitchen before the situation. So basically I had Like, yeah, this is what happened, and you know, kitchen was pretty dirty. I thought it was pretty dirty, and I sent this to someone, and this is what it looks like now. I sent this to someone, and you know what they said? They said your sink was white. They didn't even know. They had no idea. They didn't even know what color my sink was. And so yeah, so I cleaned up my whole kitchen, and basically for the first 10 days of my suspension, I probably spent 5 hours on the computer total across all those 10 days. Like, I was, so like back in the day, you guys, this is like way before anybody I was making content like on the internet, because it was like in 2004, 2002, right? I used to spend 8 hours playing video games. I used to spend 8 hours being outside, active, physical, running around, doing crazy shit. And I used to spend 8 hours sleeping, right? Like, that was my life. And I would be outside, like, building forts, like, going out into the woods, like, doing stuff all the time. And, like, then World of Warcraft came out. And at that point, that 8 hours turned into 16 hours. And the 8 hours from going outside turned into 0. And so it was really good, because, like, I've been exercising and, like, you know, doing all this stuff. I've been physically active probably, like, 4 or 6 hours a day. And I feel great. I do. I really feel great. It feels awesome. Like, I've been totally relaxed. Everything's been good. So, yeah. Nothing changed. Yeah, I've been cooking myself steaks. I've been, like, walking down to the store again. And honestly, you know, there's a lot of shit that so I've been really debating, do I react to my own apology video or not, right? And it's like, it would be really fucking funny if I did that, right? But we'll see what happens, right? I'm not sure. But anyway, I'll probably just paraphrase a lot of things. But there were a lot of things. It would really be funny, right? But anyway, so there were a lot of things that I was going to talk about, and like things that I kind of saved for stream, right? Because like I didn't really want to go over everything. But I'll go through some of the stuff that I did at my house. And so like I got banned, and like I'm like sitting there like in Oblivion or like a Fallout in PC, and I'm like I didn't know what to do. I'm like, what do I do with my time? What, like, now I'm not streaming. Like, what do I do with 8 hours or 10 hours of my day? And so, yes, I'm back from the Shadow Realm, exactly. And so I'm sitting there, and I don't really know what the fuck to do with myself. And then, do you feel better in a cleaner house? There was a lot more mold in the house than I thought there was. There really was a lot of mold. I had no idea. Yes. Are you still a bad person? Yeah, but I'll do a better job at hiding it. Anyway, so the point is that I went through and I was like, okay, well, what else am I gonna do, right? And anyway, so I was like, all right, fuck it. I guess I'm gonna clean up my house. I don't have anything else to do. I might as well do that. And so please hire professionals to mold. So I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. I don't have a high enough item level to fully clean my house, because there are tools and gear sets that are available in, you know, Encourage and Nax 40 that I'm still in like BWL gear or maybe, you know, Molten Core gear to do. So I'm gonna need to bring in professionals to do like cleaning of like down here, because I simply don't have the tools for it, right? There are like professional grade tools. They usually use these on houses where like people die in them, and then like the corpse rots into the sofa, and so they have to bring in people in hazmat suits. So we'll probably have to do something like that. But otherwise, yeah, I will have to do that. But that's beside the point. I will do that, but other than that, I wanted to clean it all up myself, because it was primarily my mess that I created. If I have a maid service come in and clean up my house, you know, I didn't really do anything. And I was like, I need to do this for myself, because like getting banned, and like, so this is the first one, right? So like I cleaned up my whole kitchen and everything. Like, I swear to God, like I spent, I'm not even kidding you, 6 hours going through mail. Like this fucking thing I bought at Office Max, this entire fucking thing, so because I was going through mail for like 4 years. Like, this is like, you know, bank statements from 2020. You got to maintain it though. Maintaining it is super easy. Okay? And if you don't believe me, you can look at my car right now. My car is fucking spotless. There is nothing in my car. There is no garbage in my car. You can ask anybody who's been in my car. I never have problems at all in my car. And so like this entire, like this table was like full of garbage. There was like, I think there was like a rat that came in from the ceiling and it fell down on the table and it got a bunch of dirt there. And so now everything's totally clean and everything like that. Some people were looking at this right here. I do want to address something. There are people looking at this right here and thinking to themselves, wow, this is green. Asmon really is changing his life. He's eating vegetables, right? It's like lettuce or something like that. I'm sorry to disappoint, but this is actually cake frosting on a cookie cake that I bought for myself personally. It was a Halloween cookie cake. I bought it at the grocery store for just myself, and I've been eating it myself. Now, I have been punished for that. I decided, I thought it'd be a good idea. I ate 25 cookies in 24 hours. And then I threw up somehow 28 cookies in the next 2 hours. And so, crazy situation there. Yeah, I know, it was a lot of cookies. A lot of cookies. So, which was good, right? Because like that gave me the opportunity to, you know, I cleaned up my my bedroom too. So like,
Ascension WoW is a custom World of Warcraft fan server where you mix and match classes to create the custom hero of your dreams. You start by choosing an archetype at character select, first picking a role, then selecting your playstyle. Find an archetype you like and go. As you level, you'll unlock your archetype's wild cross-class abilities and talents to discover a true custom class. But leveling is just the beginning. Once you hit max level, you'll unlock your archetype, meaning you can freely swap out abilities with any other spell in the game, customize your unique hero, then dive into dungeons, raids, battlegrounds, the arena, Mythic Plus, and even custom content like the Mana Store, an endless wildcard dungeon where things get stronger and stranger the deeper you go. Challenge custom world bosses, original dungeons, expanded mechanics, hardcore trials, and more. Explore Azeroth Reimagined. Forge your ultimate classless hero. Welcome to Ascension Custom WoW.
The iPhone 16 is here, and this is a mouse case. And we are completely fine.
This is the most advanced mouse phone case ever. Engineered with 38 parts for extreme protection, ultimate functionality, and serious style. This phone case is the culmination of nearly 10 years of research and development. Lined with AeroShock, a material which absorbs and disperses energy on impact, microfiber to protect glass backs, interlocking TPU which solidly bonds the frame of your case to the backplate, so you never experience this, and uses real materials like aramid fiber and walnut.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're giving away a brand new iPhone 16 Pro this iPhone launch. All you need to do is head over to our YouTube channel, watch the mouse case lineup video with our product director Dan, and answer the question that we ask in that video. Best of luck.
For a premium finish and ultimate protection, and we've put that to the test, so you don't have to.
Absolutely fine.
We've created some of the most advanced phone cases on the planet. So we thought, what's next? Let's protect bigger devices. But the heavier the device, the harder to protect. So we needed a new material. Introducing AeroFoam. It works by forming strong hydrogen bonds on impact, which then divide, absorbing the energy which would otherwise hit your device.
How is that okay?
It now lines our most protective backpacks, laptop sleeves, and iPad cases. And we've pushed it to the limit.
Absolutely fine.
You see, our mission is simple. Build the best products possible.
I've got it.
And prove it. In an industry filled with cheap, poor quality products, we are trying to do something different because we believe you deserve better. That's why our phone cases are engineered with up to 38 parts. That's why our first ever backpack was designed with 17 separate storage compartments. That's why our most advanced wireless chargers contain official Apple technology and an inbuilt heatsink. And that's why every product we develop will always aim to be the very best. Because we are Mouse, and we want you to live without limits. Oh, and in case we forgot to mention, we've put everything we've learned over the past 10 years into making seriously engineered mouse backpacks. Extreme protection, serious water resistance with complete functionality and ease of access. We've designed bags that do it all, so you don't have to compromise. And we've tested them in true mouse style. So yes, the iPhone 16 is here. And yes, these are our most advanced cases ever. But we are no longer just a phone case company. Mouse. Live without limits.
Thanks for watching. We do extreme product testing to show you what our products can withstand.
We have pushed it too far, guys.
That doesn't make your devices indestructible though, so if you want to see behind the scenes where we push our product testing too far
Sorry, we just dropped the phone. We're not calling for emergency.
and accidentally break devices
That has done some damage.
and get in some unusual situations,
I think we actually hit that.
then go to our YouTube channel and subscribe.
Like, the only thing that I have left, I thought it would be a good meme. I didn't do a lot of this on stream because I was like, this is like, it's stupid. Like, I'm not gonna like clean everything up on stream for content. Like, this is like my life. I'm trying to fix my life, right? But I will clean out my closet on stream because I have so much stuff in there, and I was like, okay, this is like easy, and I can just put it there. I'll probably do that in a few days. I've got a lot of other things to do, like in the next 4 or 5 days. And so, like, I want to make sure I'm getting through all of that. Yeah, exactly, right? Because, you know, yeah, Slim Shady, right? And so, I thought it would be funny. Anyway, so yes, I will do that. I cleaned out, like, all of the... The only, closet that I haven't cleaned out is the closet with all of the... Like, it's so old that we have, like, VHS tapes. Like, fucking, like, taped over, like, Star Wars, you know... fucking Return of the Jedi and shit like that, right? And so, yeah, that's gold, right? And so I haven't cleaned that one out. But otherwise, I've cleaned out every other closet. It took me a really, really long time. And it was nuts. The Ancient Archives, yeah, exactly, right? And like, I was throwing away stuff from like 1994 and stuff like that. It was crazy. And I found a receipt. This is kind of funny. So I found a receipt from 2008. So as you can see, this is 2008, January 29th, right? And so this, I guarantee you, probably is like me and my dad going there because like I was in high school at this time. And somehow I still had a receipt like this, and it was inside a drawer. That's why it didn't get damaged or anything like that. And so Nick posts this tweet. And he did some like partnership with Kamala Harris or something like that. And I saw Nick getting like a bunch of hate for it. And I was like, oh, okay, I know what to do, right? I'm gonna post something funny so that way everybody talks about my thing instead of Nick's thing. And so I'm like, okay, good. And so I post this receipt. Fucking everybody starts talking about this. And they start taking it super seriously. Where they're like, back whenever Trump is gonna make chicken free whenever he's back. They're like, what do you mean? And like, I thought this was just funny. I thought it was fucking funny. But somehow people took this really seriously. But I found a lot of these relics of the past, right? Are I calling you a sellout? No, it was about, people were unhappy about Nick doing that. I don't know. This isn't a KFC sponsorship. AOE taunted them. I did. Well, because like the way I look at it is that it's always better in my mind for other people to get the hate, for me to get the hate instead of other people that are my friends. Because, like, I'm not gonna do, like, a Batman thing, right? But, like, I can take it. I can deal with it. It's not a big deal. So it's like, I know that it negatively affects a lot of other people. So I think to myself, okay, well, I can deal with this myself. I'm the Lich King, right? Exactly. And so that's my mindset on it. And anyway, so yes, that's, you know, the receipt was $3 to get food on KFC back then, which was crazy to think. It was insane. And so anyway, Medium, yeah, exactly. I'm Twitter Jesus. Yes, I've died for apparently everybody else's sins on Twitch. And so anyway, I cleaned that up. This was my living room.
The nature of our enemy is unclear now.
What do you want us to do about it?
Protect us.
Unlock the Vault Edition today.
That's right. Yep. And I cleaned the entire fucking thing. And all of this, by the way, like, for example, like, these are plates that my mom bought for Cody. Cody hasn't been able to pick them up yet. And so they've just been sitting here for, like, really a couple of years. These are boxes for, like, unboxing on stream. This is a box for, like, Imaru. And, like, this is some other box. Like, so and these are, I'm giving this stuff away to, like, Salvation Army or something like that. And so, like, a lot of the things that you still see here are just, like, in transit. But, like, everything for all intents and purposes is clean, right? Like, everything's done. Like, I'll vacuum it eventually, right? But otherwise, it's pretty much done. So, yeah. And I'm glad, man. Vacuum? Yeah, sure, right? I'm really glad, and it's been a long time coming. I'll tell you guys that. So basically, like, you still talk with your friends on Twitter? Yeah, no, I've got, like, so basically, I guess I can kind of talk about, like, some personal stuff that I've been going through and, like, stuff that I've been dealing with, and this has been, like, things that I'm very much like a person where I will share things on stream, but there will be other things that I deliberately do not share. And the reason why is, like, I don't like talking about problems that I have, because I think that that's, like, it's like emotional masturbation, and I would rather only talk about them after they've been resolved or dealt with or in one way or another, you know, addressed, right? And so now I've pretty much addressed them. So basically all of this stuff happened, and everybody from, like, OTK and, like, Starforge and everybody has been massively fucking supportive to me, like, you know, especially, like, tips, and, like, obviously, like, Tectone has been fucking in the trenches for me, but you know, Nick and Esfand and Imaru and Miz, right? Everybody, they've been totally on my side. They've been really supportive. Will reached out to me, right? What a great guy. And so I have nothing but positivity, but I've got to tell you guys that my involvement, like, I had too many things going on in my life, and it was driving me fucking insane. It was, like, legitimately ruining my life. Like, I had no time for myself. I was constantly stressed out. I had so many things going on, and I couldn't think about anything. I like, and for my mindset, it's always, like, just always keep going. Always keep going. It doesn't matter, like, if something bad happens, just keep dealing with it. You know, like, I never miss a day for stream, right? And to be fair, I want to let you guys know. So, the day that I got banned, I was driving home to get, I probably shouldn't say this, but I was checking my phone and driving, and I saw on Discord, somebody said, oh, I saw the suspension. I was like, and I remember thinking, like, oh, I got suspended. And you know what I fucking felt like? I felt like Frodo at the end of Lord of the Rings. Whenever the ring's destroyed, I'm like, fine, it's over, right? Like, I'm fucking released. And so, I did, I'm free. Yes, it's done. And so, anyway, so I'm doing that, and I, like, come back, and it's like a 14-day suspension. I'm like, okay, whatever, right? And so then I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to think about, like, what I really want to do, etc. But I was going to stream that day, because that was the day that, like, I think the New World thing came out, and I was like, I guess I'll play this and fuck around with it. But, you know, that didn't happen. And so, yeah, that's what it is. Twitch is burning in hell. Oh, well, yeah, basically, right? So, like, I talked to people in OTK, and, like, you know, like, Tips and I had a conversation, and we were like, you know, like, this is kind of like an issue and everything. And I was like, a lot of people, you guys need to understand, we were like talking around it, and I just said, I said, I was like, how about I just take a step back from everything? And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah. Yeah, he's like, okay. And I'm like, okay. Fucking great. I get to relax. Thank fucking God. I want to say, like, with this, like, I totally am on board with them. Like, there's no issue. Like, I'm not angry at them. There's no resentment. There's nothing. I am nothing but love, nothing but support. And I even, you know, I've like, these are my friends too, keep in mind, right? And so keep that in mind. Some of my responsibilities, yeah, I mean, of course, obviously I can help if they need something, you know, if they need me to help or want insight on something, sure, I'd offer advice. But otherwise, I'm very glad to, like, kind of be able to, like, live my own life for a while. And I feel like after, like, pretty much, like, after my mom passed away, I spent, like, 3 years just kind of distracting myself in different ways. And I had so many things going on that I could never really take a break and, like, really, like, kind of, like, because you guys remember, like, back in the day, like, for anybody who's, like, an old viewer, right, old viewer, you would remember how, like, the stream would go like this, right? It would be like, everything is like, it's going like this, and then I take a break, and then it goes back up, and then I take a break, and then it goes back up, right? Because I'm the kind of person, I'm a very socially maladjusted person. And because I'm such a socially maladjusted person, whenever I'm around people for long enough, I basically turn into the worst version of myself possible. And I've been spending 3 years devolving into that. And the reason I put out the video and the apology is like, yeah, obviously, like, you know, bad vocabulary, shouldn't have said what I said about the Palestine thing. It was a bad way to say it, right? I mean, not in a way like, obviously, like, terrorists are bad, but to say everybody there is a terrorist, everybody there is bad, that's just, you shouldn't say that. It's a wrong thing to say. And the truth is that, like, if you read the TOS, the way I said, it's bad phrasing. Yeah, it was bad phrasing. You read the TOS, I broke the TOS, I got suspended. That's fair. It is, it's fair. It's generalizing. No, it's generalizing. And the funny thing is I've spoken against that many times. I did it myself. And thank God I did that, because it gave me a chance to actually sit down and think about, what am I doing with my fucking life?
When the Hawks need a clean shave, they reach for the Chairman Pro by Manscaped, equipped with skin-safe technology and dual blade heads.
Wonder if my dad's ever had one of these.
Tony Hawk with the mustache. A very different commercial. We ride motorcycles now. Hawk Hogs. Shaken and stirred. Talon.
Injured? So are we.
No. The Chairman Pro by Manscaped.
Lumbria. My mom and dad were king and queen. Woohoo! Until a dark spell was cast upon them.
We can't keep this secret much longer. Your kingdom needs a real ruler.
I know. Dad, put him down. Mom? I just really miss you both.
If they don't change back soon, dark magic will spread through the kingdom, and you will never get your parents back.
I'm not gonna let that happen.
Troops! Close the gates!
Flink, do something!
To break the spell, you get to embark on an invigorating quest through mountains, deserts, and dark forests of eternal darkness. They aren't your parents. They're just beasts.
You're wrong. They are in there. They have to be. We have enough to break this spell. My parents are coming back to me. Daughter. Yes, you can talk. There must be so much you want to say to me.
I like the sound of my own voice.
You're my dad, all right.
I don't understand your affection for this vile vermin.
What the fuck am I doing? And so I sit there and I'm thinking about myself, don't be a coward. No, the thing is, like, so people, a lot of people said that, and I saw this comment a lot, but I didn't really read, like, a lot of my YouTube videos, etc. I really actually don't read, like, 90% of them. 90% of the comments, but I did read a few of the comments. People are like, oh, Asmon bent the knee, right? The funny thing about this is that this is the way that I see it, right? Is that I think this is the first time that I didn't bend the knee. Because I feel like there have been a lot of circumstances in the past, like, year, 2 years, where I have let my ego, I have let my, you know, my desire to be, like, you know, right, or, like, I've let kind of like a negative impulse or something like that. I've let all of those things kind of take control of me. And in the process of, like, letting those things take control of me, I've fucked my own life up, basically. And so I think this is the first time that I actually did, you know, take a step back and think about, like, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing with my time? And why am I doing that? And so I think that, in fact, it's the opposite. This is the first time I didn't do that. And allowing yourself to be wrong is liberating. Yeah. And it's not really just about, like, that one thing. Like, there's been a lot of things, and, like, so, like, I'll give, like, some examples of stuff, right? Like, when I put out the thing about that girl winning the Streamer of the Year thing, I think her name was Rivers, I was totally an asshole about that. I was completely wrong. I was a massive dickhead. I should have never said that, right? And, like, that was one of the things, right? It was, because I should have never said that. I was being a dick. And there was that. There was, no, it was. And if you look back, I was. And the other one was fruit. So she, like, put out this thing, and, like, people were saying that, like, she cheated on her husband, and I put that out there, and I didn't do enough checking on it. Somebody reached out to me, told me it was wrong. I deleted the video. But at the end of the day, I put out content that negatively affected other people. That was, and I have no problem negatively affecting other people. That's fine. But not if I'm fucking wrong. Not if I'm fucking, like, sure, that's fine. But I need to be right about it, you know? And so there's things like that. And then there's also, like, other minor things, right? Like, for example, like Moon. I was way too much of a dick about the Moon thing. I was. And yes, Moon is a high roader, and it's annoying, right? But at the same time, I did not need to go that hard. I did not need to be that big of an asshole. And I'm just being a dick. Just being a fucking asshole. And at the end of the day, if I'm not checking that and taking, like, a degree of accountability for that, then what's going to happen is it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And it did. It did. Thank God. And so, yes, that's what it was. But it was funny. But the thing is that, like, it's about tone. And it's about tone, and it's about vibes. I think that I can make fun of people and have it be a little bit less mean-spirited. I'm not going to stop making fun of people. You think I'm going to stop making fun of? No, absolutely fucking not. No. But, like, try to have a little bit more fun with it. So, but what's going to be different? Basically, whenever I made that video, one of the other things that I was kind of sorry for is, like, I feel like my stream, like, for example, like, if you look at, for example, this is like my stream, okay? It's a circle. Imagine this is a circle. I feel like in like 2021 and 2020, like this was my stream, where it was like a bunch of different things that I would do. And each different thing had like its own value. And now what I think has happened is that my stream has basically been like this, right? And so you have, it's a pizza. Yeah, it's basically a pizza, and it's a cheese pizza with no pepperonis on it, which is bad, by the way. Those are bad. And so anyway, what ended up happening is, you know, I pretty much focused only on like doing like one type of content, and I stopped doing other things that were beyond that, right? I stopped doing like my PO box streams. Like I have so much PO box shit to go over. Oh my God, I have so much stuff to go over for the PO box. And so there's definitely that. There's Cyberpunk. Well, it's not, and the thing is that it's not just games. It's not. So what my plan is I want to like kind of shift like 20% of my content to being that 20% of content that like back in the day was the stuff that people really enjoyed, right? Whether it's like PC rating competitions, or whether it's like, you know, like we've got plans, we're going to be doing a Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero tournament. I've been talking to some of my mods about it, etc. And also, by the way, and we're not, there's not going to be any topics that I'm going to be like avoiding, okay? Keep this in mind. It's not like I'm not going to talk about certain things, or I'm going to avoid certain things now, or anything like that. It's a matter of tone and direction. Why would I do that? Like it's yeah, that's not going to happen. But it's a matter of like proportion and degree, tone, style, and vibes, right? I think that's what it is more than anything. So whenever I look at like, I made a list, okay? I made a list because I didn't want to, let me see here. I didn't want to miss anything. So let's see here. Yep, PC setup. Oh, we're going to be doing fast food reviews again. This was something that I did back in the day. I did it pretty regularly, and we're going to start trying to do that again too. Yes, I'm excited for that. And I'm also thinking about doing a, I thought about rating viewer dating profiles. I thought that would be really, really funny. I'm not really sure whether that's going to happen or not, but we'll see what happens. And we're going to do, I'm going to do a stream. It's going to be a competition. Recently, some kid killed himself because of an AI. And so I thought it would be a pretty fun competition for me to use each different type of AI, like language model, and then talk to it long enough and see which one can tell me to kill myself the first. You know, I think that'll be pretty fun. How about that? Yeah, so we're going to do that. That's exciting. And, you know, we'll do that. Talk to it. No, all right, let's rock. But, and we're also going to do, so I guess I can kind of pull back the curtain a little bit on this. Whenever I was involved with, like, all of, you know, the other stuff, like with Mad Mushroom and, like, Starforge and everything, it put me in kind of a weird spot if I wanted to do, like, the Shame Awards. Because it was like, okay, well, we're working with companies that make games and making games ourselves, so it could be seen as bad. So now we will be doing the Shame Awards. And I've been talking about it. I've been dealing with some people. And I am extremely fucking excited. I'm going to tell you guys that. I am very excited to do that. So, yeah, that's the plan. And I've got some other like minor things. Like I wanted to do a like a mining stream. I know it sounds weird, right? But like I was gonna go out to like, you know, a place where you can like mine like crystals and emeralds and like, or not emeralds, but like crystals and minerals, and then take the ones that we're able to find and then give them out to people in chat. I think that'd be a really cool thing to do. Like it's just like cool streams like that, just like cool, interesting, like different things to do, right? I have like a mining kit and everything. In real life, yeah, so real life Minecraft, exactly. And so like the plan really for me now is like I don't want to change a whole lot, but I do want to change a little bit. And I think that that little bit will make a really big ripple effect, and it will change a lot of things too. But Steak and Eggs, I recorded an episode yesterday. Yeah, I'm still doing the podcast. It's not a big deal. So that's been where I've been at. That's what I'm thinking. And that's it. What about visiting the Middle East? I talked to S-Fan and Nick about that last night. Thinking probably about this time, somewhere around now, next year. That's right. I think it's going to be fucking insane. And I'm going to stream the entire thing. I'm going to stream the entire fucking thing. I'm super excited.
How I binge hours on Twitch without a single ad. Meet Pi, the ad blocker that actually works on Twitch, aka every user's dream. I can watch my favorite streamers without being bombarded with ads every few minutes. It's seriously been a game changer. Plus, you can use Pi to block ads on Amazon, Google, and YouTube. Like, look at this. It works so seamlessly. And the best part, Pi will actually pay you to see ads. It's your choice. Either block ads forever.
And I gave you level 33, I just realized. I was playing for 5 minutes and I already got there. Yeah, right.
In this country right now, 300,000 miners. We have no idea where they are.
Oh, that is nonsense. That is no, it is. They are not lost. They're released to their sponsors who have to go through background checks. You have no idea what you're talking about.
They don't.
You think 300,000 miners are lost in America? Are you crazy?
I'm saying that. Why, hello there. I'm Ben Shapiro, and I'm co-founder of the Daily Wire and host of the Ben Shapiro Show. And today, I'm surrounded by 25 Kamala Harris supporters. My first claim is Kamala Harris's attempt to put DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion at the center of her policies is destructive. How's it going, dude? Where do I get one of those hats?
Oh, my boy made it for me.
Nice.
So, yeah, you know, first of all, we're standing on stolen indigenous Tongva land. Right, this is.
Are you moving anytime soon?
Land? No, but
Why?
the fact of the matter is I'm born and raised California. We're talking about diversity, equity, and vision. We should.
So why don't
we absolutely should?
You could do it today, right now.
Great.
Yeah.
We should, but that's not my point here. The point is you're saying that diversity, equity, inclusion is destructive.
Yes.
Right. So when we look at this country that is built off the backs of slavery and white supremacy, taking the lead, building the roots and foundations of everything that you know and believe today, it's ironic to see a black and Indian woman who's rising up to the occasion against society, pushing them down. And this isn't just the fact that they're black and Indian and a woman, it's the fact that
Can you give me an example of how society pushed Kamala Harris down, please?
The demographic of people is what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, but you suggested that Kamala Harris is being pushed down by society.
I'm not suggesting that, no.
I mean, that's
so my point is saying that.
Sorry, you've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Good to meet you.
Let's start this party.
Whoa. Man.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, how's it going?
Nice to meet you. So my opening question to you would be, why is that a destructive thing? Why is that a bad thing when, for a long time in this country, I feel personally that white men have had an advantage over some communities that have been discriminated against. So why would you say that that is a destructive thing and not, you know, making up for lost time?
Sure. So let me explain what I mean by diversity, equity, and inclusion. So the basic theory of diversity, equity, and inclusion is spelled out by people like Richard Delgado, who's sort of one of the founders of, for example, critical race theory, is that essentially disparities equal discrimination. That if you see any disparity between one group in the United States and another group in the United States, that is the result of some exterior discrimination. It is not the result of individuals within that group acting differently. It's not the result of cultural differences. It's not the result of aggregated differences within individuals within that group. And that, to me, is a failure of logic. It also is destructive in that it separates group from group, particularly in the United States, on the basis of race, which is not the best way of actually bringing Americans together or forming policy that is the best for all Americans.
Do you think there's room for nuance, perhaps, though? Like, yeah, maybe not everybody, but there certainly has been a large sect of people that has had it harder because of the color of their skin or their sexuality or their gender identity. Could you acknowledge that maybe there's, you know, a middle ground there where it's not all, but there is some people who certainly have had a disadvantage?
I will say that history has consequences, obviously, and that if you are talking about historic marginalization of particular groups, that has consequences. The problem is that when you design policy in order to rectify for cosmic injustices or historic injustices, you actually have to try and measure out whether underperformance, say economically, is due to those historic injustices. If so, how much? What is the corrective policy that is actually aimed at achieving best opportunity for all? The diversity, equity, and inclusion policies that are directed at separating race from race and then benefiting one race, for example, at the expense of another, ignore the fact that there are individuals within those groups, that history does not fall on everybody equivalent, that frankly, genetics and intelligence don't necessarily fall on an individual level, right? You and I, we don't look the same. We might have different heights. We might have different qualities. You know, that is just the way that you know, God or nature has bestowed skill sets on everybody. What exactly is the government supposed to correct for? And if you took this entire group and you separated it in half, just draw a line anywhere. It's a circle, right? Anywhere you draw a line, you're going to get disparities between the two groups on either side of the line without regard to race, without regard to sex, and without regard to, for example, sexual orientation.
But does that mean that that hasn't played an effect in that story at all?
I'm not going to, no, you'd be a fool to claim that, that, again, past injustices have no effect on what's happened today. Thanks so much. Watching guys gear up to run is really entertaining. That was so nice, everybody. Thank you.
So you believe that certain economic disparities between racial groups are caused as a result of economic, cultural differences?
Sure.
And so what is the backing on this? What would you say contributes to your belief in that?
Okay, so not all cultures, for example, value studying in school the same. You can check this by the amount of hours that kids of particular culture study. So, for example, Korean Americans study a lot more than, for example, Latino Americans in terms of the number of hours that kids study. It would be hard to suggest what to attribute that to other than sort of parental guidance and what exactly the priorities are of the parents. This is true, by the way, between white people. Okay, so when I talk about disparities between groups, you can talk about white Appalachia, and there are very different values with regard to studying than there are for, say, upper-class white Americans who are living in Brooklyn, right? That's not the exact same thing. So cultural differences are not just racial differences. I think that anybody who attempts to sort of clumsily map that on and pretend that that's all the same, that's obviously not true. But cultural differences do explain an enormous amount of group disparities across incomes. To take a perfect example, you know, if you look at single motherhood rates, they're not equivalent across groups. So they're going to have massive differences with regard to outcomes for children. So if you're talking about cultural differences, again, cultural is just a rough way of saying how people act within a group on a large scale. And that is going to amount to some generalization, but that generalization is going to tend to, shall we say, concur. It's going to correlate very highly with outcome.
But culture is acclimated over time. It becomes a thing over time. And so do you not think that these historical disadvantages that certain ethnic groups have been through over time has created this culture in which they're unable to put themselves ahead? You do say that Asian Americans are more likely to study, yes, but we have to take into account that after the Chinese Exclusion Act, Asian Americans were given a certain type of reparations which allowed them into the country. And in order for them, they were given visas, which allowed them to come into the, yes, they were given easier processes into visas, yes, which allowed them into, No, it's a form of reparations, which they were once excluded from coming in. And so giving them an easier opportunity to attain these visas allowed them into the US. And mainly the individuals who were able to attain those were people with higher educations, which is why it may seem that Asian Americans within the country who come in typically with higher incomes as well as higher educational backgrounds, it may come off as that they are more studious than Latino Americans. But what we have to take into account is that Latin America and Hispanic people have faced a lot of tremendous setback due to historical atrocities. It's not their culture per se. What you see within...
Is there any individual agency in here, or is it all historic circumstance?
Everything is based off of history. Everything acclimates. Everything is an accumulation of history.
So to take the single motherhood example, for example...
The way...
Okay, that was fun anyway.
Novelist, strategist, soldier, and so much more. The great Mark Halperin is here. I'm James Polis. Welcome to Zero Hour. A legend in his own time, Mark Halperin has served in the British Merchant Navy, the Israeli Infantry and Air Force. Now he's an established writer, multiple novels and publications, really a man for all seasons. Welcome, Mark. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. And since you're there and I'm here, I have to say I'm glad to be there.
Well, I'm glad to be there with you. So much going on in the world right now. I definitely want to spend a lot of time talking about the arts, what the arts can do for us in this time that we're in right now. But let's set the table first. As of right now, war with Hezbollah is imminent. Israel is really up to its neck in conflict. Very unusual and precarious.
Whoa. Hey, how's it going? How are you? Good to meet you.
So your basis is saying that culturally, people don't have the same advantages, right?
I'm saying that not every culture sort of initiates the same action within groups.
So in part, you're saying that you're part of each culture. You know what goes on in each culture to say these things.
No, I'm saying that I can analyze the activities of a particular group with reference to their actual behavior.
So if you go into my culture, we're told that we can achieve anything through hard work. We have to work 10 times harder. But you're not part of our culture, so you're explaining something that doesn't have to do with you. But in turn, you're saying that that culture, unfortunately, does not value the same thing that the next culture does.
So revealed preference tends to be a better way of doing social science than subjective perception. So revealed preference is how people act in the world. So for example, if you have one group of people who say, we really, really value our kids studying, and then their kids don't study at all, that would be a revealed preference.
Okay.
Everybody has
so
has
then when you have
to say
people who say in corporate America, you have people who value nepotism versus actual studying hard.
Door, I have a question.
What is that called then?
Okay, so the idea that people generally value nepotism over studying hard, I'd like to see the evidence of that, given the fact the vast majority of wealth in this country is not created through nepotism or through inherited wealth.
But Donald Trump was given nepotism, was he not?
I mean, he's one example among a bajillion people who are very, very wealthy in this country. I'm very wealthy now. I certainly wasn't born very wealthy.
But then you can't speak on Donald Trump's experience, can you not?
That just happens to be the case. Okay, I mean, you can laugh at my particular history, but I grew up in an 1,100 square foot home in Burbank, California, with 4 siblings in 1 bedroom.
And Burbank. Yes. Hold on. In Burbank, I'm sorry, but in Burbank versus growing up in South Central, being told that you have to excel 10 times harder than the next person, but then you're not part of the culture, to say that you can actually come to these disparities is kind of far-sighted.
The idea that you have to work 10 times harder coming from South Central based on, for example, test scores is obviously not true. We've had affirmative action programs in this country for solidly 40 years.
But now affirmative action is gone. It's out the door.
Thank
now
God,
DEI is present. DEI is actually...
Talking to something.
All by herself.
What are we supposed to do? Find the person that says kill or what?
Yes.
I think anonymous.
We're pulling ahead. No battle for second place. Crush those dirtbags. Protect our HVT. taking fire. Keep the package safe. Our HVT's been eliminated.
I was stuck in the corner with some other dudes.
Oh no.
Friendly HVT on site.
Oh.
I am the HVT.
Yes, you are.
We took out their HVT.
No,
HVT under fire. Repeat. HVT under fire.
dog.
Enemy HVT on site. Take them out. We got the lead. Now hold it. They got our HVT. We've taken control. Enemy HVT is down. Hostile HVT located. Shot was good. We took out their HVT. All right. Eyes up. You're the HVT. Enemy HVT on site. Take them out. Protect our HVT. TACOM, establish watchdog kilo overhead. HVT.
We must protect.
Package safe.
Yeah, you do.
He's in there with us upstairs.
I'm upstairs.
Enemy HVT down. HVT under fire. Repeat. HVT under fire. Hostile HVT located. Our HVT has been eliminated. We took out
Stuck his ass.
friendly HVT on site. Keep them safe. Commence care package
I'm not helping.
HVT is taking fire.
Oh shit, they're already.
Goodness.
Shit ain't working. We've lost the advantage. They got our
Spring mine spotted.
Yeah, he's hurt. And killed him too.
enemy RCXD detected.
I downed him. That's hurt.
HVT under fire. Repeat. HVT under fire. HVT has been eliminated. Friendly HVT on site.
Dang.
HVT is taking fire. Keep the package safe.
Scaffold standing by.
They got our HVT. Driving RCXD. Protect our HVT.
Well, he's hurt, man.
Enemy HVT is down. HVT under fire. Repeat. HVT under fire.
I'm trying to
Hostile
edit.
HVT located.
Yeah, they got me. They cornered me.
Oh no.
Got their HVT. Hostile RCXD in your AO. Friendly HVT on site. Keep them safe.
I like it.
Yeah, I like this map.
No, no.
HVT HVT on site. Take them out. Enemy RCXD detected.
Okay, easy. Where is he? Where's he?
Enemy sentry turret detected in your AO.
Oh, that's noodles. I eat noodles for lunch.
I'm pushing towards the guy.
Yeah, you better be.
Enemy HVT is down. RTB.
No!
Fucking conversation.
Really, Marshall? These are your best?
Nice try, team. Nice try, team. That was me. That was me. Oh, no.
No,
Anto 22 is pretty hot, huh? No, we don't like it.
Kill order. Pacify the AO, kill team. HVT under fire. Repeat, HVT under fire. They got our HVT. They're walking all over you. Have some goddamn pride. Enemy HVT is down. Friendly HVT on site. Keep them safe. Mail order. Eliminate the HVT. Protect your own. We've claimed the advantage. Now hold it. HVT is taking fire. Keep the package safe. Hostile HVT located. We took out their HVT. Enemy HVT on site. Take them out. HVT under fire. Repeat, HVT under fire. Our HVT has been eliminated. Protect our HVT.